All right, get up with you here, and as we roll along with Dan Graziano, Bart Scott, Mike Tannenbaum, I'm Mike Greenberg with Aaron Rodgers, now the Jets quarterback. Confidence is at an all-time high in New York. If you don't believe me, just ask cornerback D.J. Reed, who has set lofty expectations for this defense. Quote, I think we have the potential to be the best defense in the NFL, honestly. I think we can be historical, not just the best defense in the league, but I think we can be a historical defense like the '85 Bears and the Legion of Boom. I think we can be that dominant if we just put it all together. Okay, so he said that. I have any number of thoughts, but I want to start with my linebacker who loves the Jets. And but what do we make of this?
Listen, this is getting ahead of your skis, young fella. Listen, you talk about every one of those teams you talk about, they did something that is a lofty goal. That's win the Super Bowl. You know, I understand that you believe that you can be a good defense, but let's not add more targets on your back, right? You know, Aaron already came with a target, and you talk about this team, a lot of media hype. Sometimes you got to keep your mouth shut. I've been number one in the league at least 5 times out of my 11-year career. Never once did we compare ourselves to the 2000 Ravens that won the Super Bowl, and I was a Raven, right? You have to show a little bit more respect to what people have already done. Talk your talk after you've accomplished it. Say we can be good, we can be dominant, historically great. Pump.
The part that concerns me about it, Mike T, is that when you get all these expectations, when you get all of the attention, when you've got Hard Knocks, when you've got, I don't know, dopey ESPN hosts running around wearing Aaron Rodgers jerseys.
Hypothetically.
Or if in theory that sort of thing might go on, then you wonder if people start to put the cart ahead of the horse internally. And this is just an indication that maybe that fear is legitimate. Look, I don't think anyone's going to play the Jets any harder because D.J. Reed compared them to the '85 Bears. But if indeed they are getting a little too big for themselves before it even begins internally, that's the part that would concern me.
Yeah, absolutely, Green. They got to take this 1 week at a time. There's a lot of new pieces here, and they should be a really good team, barring something unforeseen. But let's go beat Buffalo on Monday night. That's a really big division game against the standing champion at home, a game you really should win. So, again, to Bart's point, let's not get over our skis yet. It reminds me a little bit of the lovable and great Rex Ryan, who used to walk into our special teams coach, Mike Westhoff, and say, hey, we're not practicing kickoff return this week because they're not going to score. But Rex actually had some pelts. He could back it up. And I think halfway through the season, they're sitting there 7-1, 8-2 with a great defense. That's a different story.
And even not practicing kickoff return is not the same as saying we are the '85 Bears, right? Even that. Danny, around the league, I mean, people talk about the bullseye on the Jets. I mean, it's a real thing, right?
Oh, no question about it. I mean, you bring in Aaron Rodgers. Like, no team has gotten more attention this offseason than the Jets, and so the NFL sort of structure is set up to sort of reject that, right? Oh, if you're seeking attention, you know, you must be maybe not as good as you think you are. This is the first time. When I heard this quote yesterday, it reminded me of that 2011 Eagles when Vince Young said Dream Team, right? Like the first time I thought that. And it may be that D.J. Reed, due respect, D.J. is maybe too young to appreciate how good the '85 Bears were because that historically fantastic. But I really do think that this is why, another reason why there's so much pressure on this head coach and this coaching staff, right? Because if these expectations are really like this internally, it's going to be on him and on them to manage it. Yeah. And that, I think, is a major test for this team.
When you trade for Aaron Rodgers, that is what you signed for. Of course. Like, it was such BS about we don't want to be on Hard Knocks. Like, hey, it's the cost of doing business. Like, that is the sales tax to getting an all-time great quarterback in New York.
But that doesn't mean you have to go full Tropic Thunder, right? You can't go simple Jack, man. You got to pump your brakes a little bit. You have to understand that you got to take it one step at a time. You okay, Dan?
I'm good.
Oh, you're a fan of the movie. Yeah, you got to take it one step at a time. Like, never did Rex ever say we're going to be the '85 Bears. Never did he disrespect the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Hold on, Bart.
He said we're going to win the Super Bowl.
Yeah, he said we're going to go meet President Obama the first 10 minutes he was on the job.
He did.
But even that is not saying we're going to be the greatest defense of all time, right?
Exactly.
Let me very quickly, because Dan's talking about the coaches, and that's right. But I also think of C.J. Mosley
to step up.
And Aaron Rodgers.
Right.
Like the leaders in that locker room. Right. What do they have to do?
Well, C.J., listen, we understand that you have to be who you are and you got to embrace all the personalities. And if you're braggadocious, loquacious, go ahead and be that. But we also have to understand that, listen, we have to go about the business first, right? Let's go about the business first. Let's not let our mouths and our words out outshine our actions. And I think CJ, who's been with the Baltimore Ravens, who had lofty goals, who was a historically great defense with Ray Lewis, with Terrell Suggs, he still understood that you got to do the work first. And sometimes it's better. It's coming from me. I can't even say it. Sometimes you have to be humble and not talk so much.
But look, I mean, that is the reality. We'll see. 1 week from today, we will know a lot more
I've grown
about the Jets than we do.
Do we have that on camera?
Right now, yes. It just so happens that we do, and it's right here on YouTube. Don't forget, you can watch Get Up every weekday morning on ESPN between 8 and 10 a.m. Eastern, and stay tuned for more exclusive Get Up content on YouTube as well. Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.